Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It is your favorite warlock, practicing necromancer. And today I want to talk about boundaries and harmonizing your essence. The reason that it's important is for your overall health, especially within the workforce, within your family life, and within your magical practice. Okay? Now, I realize that it's been roughly about 8 months since the last time I did a video, either 8 or 9 months, something like that. Um, but I am going to be getting back into doing some videos and kind of guiding you guys a little bit. The last 23 months have been interesting in my own life. A lot of things have come down, a lot of changes have come down, and a lot of it is good, but some of it is actually a little bit on the negative side. So you see the balancing factor there. So I thought I'd take a moment and kind of discuss this a little bit. Now, we all know that there are certain types of people that we don't want around us. Certain types of people that are going to hinder our growth and our spiritual awakening. Okay, not just our ascension into the macrocosm, if you will. But there are those that will benefit us as well. Okay, so let's discuss a couple of these. Recently, within the last few weeks, I have retired from the fast food industry. Okay, that means customer service, that means in general. Okay, because I mean, the last 14 years, it's been Tractor Supply to Dunkin' Donuts to working with the elderly within a level 4 nursing home, if you will, a resident assisted home, back to Dunkin' and so forth with very little rest. Okay. On top of that, my son's mother, and I separated a little over 2 years ago. So, like I said, there's some negative. Okay. Henceforth, why I decided to go on to this spiritual journey. Call it a soul quest, if you will, if you want to talk shamanism. Marata, hello. Welcome to the channel. So, anyways, I realized that it was a spiritual attack on more than one front. So, January 1st of last year, I began this quest and I didn't know what to expect. I ended up going to some very dark places within Baneful Sorcery, ended up with some returning customers and everything. My practices were spectacular and 100% success rate with my clients. They were more than happy with the work that was put forth. Bex, welcome. Sad, welcome. And it was interesting because even though I did a lot of baneful and vile magics last year, this year I turned around and ended up working with the void. I started getting more into the spiritual pursuits. And this is where boundaries really come into play. I started realizing that the job I was in was a dead end road. People were using me as a crutch not to do their work. And most importantly, it was the fact that there was so much dogma, so much drama that was weighing you down. So, in an essence, this was classified as a negative atmosphere. Okay. You don't want people to talk, but yet you encourage talking. You talk about having a successful career, and yet you're not promoting anybody that works for you. You're bringing people in from other companies. Okay, you see that's the type of atmosphere that you're working with in fast food. Now, that type of atmosphere is not for everyone. The fact that I've done it for 14 years before hanging up my cap, if you will, tells you a lot. All right, but here it is. When I decided to hang up my hat in that department and focus solely on my practices and my studies, and decided to open up a business within the occult, basically a botanica, if you will, or in my case, selling certain products such as phylacteries, amulets, talismans, um, relic creations, and stuff like that. Doing vile magics and protection magics for people. And yes, I have a couple of different prices for that. And I also decided that I was going to do consultations as well. Because not only am I a Marimberos, a practicing lick, but I am also an ordained archbishop with a doctorate of divinity. So the question was, what can I do with all that? Okay? What can I do with all that? So basically, you're taking what you have and making it into a career, something that you love, something that you enjoy. So there's a positive, okay? But then you got my son's mother who, she gets cats and then abandons them, dumps them off on me, gets dogs, and now she wants to get rid of them because they're doing their business in the apartment. The drama keeps coming, right? So here it is. Setting boundaries. And I've told her this so many times. You're not with that company anymore. Set a boundary. Your time is between this time and this time, especially if you have an obligation. Okay? When I have, for an example, my business that I do, when I start selling when I do my consultations, I do my videos, I do Q&As, and I also do one-on-ones. Even my own apprentices know that there are certain times during the day to get in contact with me. Okay? These are called boundaries. This allows you to tell your customers or the people around you, do not contact me if it is not an emergency. Okay? Now, positive and negative atmospheric things such as essence or energy channeling. This can determine if you are out of balance or in balance. Okay? And it goes great with boundaries. When you go into your temple or your ritual chamber, okay? Let's say, for an example, you go to a cemetery or you go out into the woods. Pagans and Wiccans, you love your gardens. We all know that, but you like being out in nature. Okay? Necromancers such as myself, we love cemeteries. We love the woods as well. I will be out there with my dogs any time of the day. I love them. I love the nature. It's that natural current. Knowing that you can set up focal points, if you will, or cardinal directions using sticks, coins, stones, you can set up a sacred space with you in the center. Okay? Meditation is something that will benefit you on more than one occasion. Okay? For starters, you have, and I quote, and I'm going to quote this from The Science of Being Well, your thoughts. Okay? And yes, that is an actual book. It's more like a pamphlet, but it is a book. And it is something that I've learned through that deals with the way you think about things. If you think negative, you're going to attract negative. If you think positive, you're going to attract positive. But it's more than that. You look at the undue stress that you put on yourselves. You look at the undue added hostilities or the people that you let into your life while you are doing your rituals, your meditations. How much of that has impacted you, either positive or negative? I want you to think about that for just 2 seconds. You know, how much of that has really impeded you? Okay, it's number one. If it's in a negative, perspective, you're going to feel tired. You're going to get moody. My son's mother is actually moody right now, and she's trying to take it out on the dogs. She won't hurt them. I know that for a fact, but she's threatening to give them up. But then she's going to regret it tomorrow. Okay? So, anyways, you're letting all this get to you. Okay? You're becoming moody, you're becoming irritable, you're tired, you're acting out, lashing out for people that don't deserve it. And then you realize it's also affecting your health. That's a physical, emotional, and mental drain on your body. Just like if you would say, let's go with everything's going great. You look at life as, let's go with a monk. Okay, let's go with a Shaolin monk or just a Zen Buddhist monk, whatever. Always got that persona, that smile, that happiness, right? But what about the JCI, the Judo Christian institutions? Have you ever noticed how they're always got that fake smile on their faces? And we both know, without a shadow of a doubt, their world is no better than yours or mine. But yet they think they're almighty or something. It's because they believe in their God, right? Well, think about this. If you meditate, say avoid meditation or some kind of relaxation exercises daily, contemplate on your day's events, what you've been through, what you're about to go through the following day. Do you understand just how much clarity that brings to the fold? Do you understand how much reduced stress is in your life because you've channeled that energy in one form or the other into meditation, grounding yourself, bring yourself back into alignment, working with your kundalini, your meridians, your chakra, bringing yourself into that balance is going to benefit you more to where you're calm, you're collected, your thoughts aren't chaotic. You're in complete harmony, not only with the spirits that you work with, but also around your family. For an example, my boss, my former boss, he's a registered sex offender. He's off the registry now, and he takes care of his daughter and he's working a lot. He just got cats and everything. He's doing good. I mean, I don't judge him by his past. I judge him for what he does on the job. Okay? But here it is. One day he's perfectly fine. Mellowed out, fun, joking around, picking on the coworkers and everything. The next moment, he's so freaking moody that he's bringing everybody down with that negativity. Okay? So having the right people around you is a good thing. Now picture that same that same concept when working with spirits. Look at the different types of spirits out there. You have those that are vengeful, those who are baneful or considered to be baneful, vile towards humans. Let's take Abraxas, okay? A demon who is renowned for chaos, warfare, emotional strife. Then you take a being such as, let's go with seer. Okay. Now, seer is a medium. Think of her like the Oracle of Delphi, or let's go with the Fates. Okay, the all-seeing eye of Horus, if you will. That mediumship, the empathic abilities, the foresight to be able to read somebody's mind. Now, imagine all those gifts that you've acquired over a long career. Getting around somebody that negative. How does that tear you down? How does that weigh on you as an empathic reader? You don't mean to tap into it, but it's there. They knock you out of balance, much as themselves. But let's say, for an example, you're balanced and you're calling on, say, Bifron, Murmur, or even Seer yet again. You're going to be well balanced. You're going to be focused on the intent and the lessons being put forth. The guidance that they provide through spiritual contact, through the various necromantic rites and rituals that you can perform and learn to perform, to tap into. That's a positive, right? So, if you ever find yourself out of balance, or in one way or the other, there are two exercises that you can do, and this is called essence channeling. Okay? Think of it of being in the correct posture, your spine straight. You're either in the standing meditation, sitting meditation, Fabuza position, Indian style, or even, laying down on the bed. Just focusing your mind and your intent, channeling, doing a mantra or whisper. Anywhere from 5 to 8 seconds. Okay? Breathing. Working on your breathing is a key thing. Feel all that energy, that negative energy, just leaving you. If you're sitting down, place your hands on the floor or on the ground. Feel that energy being directed throughout your body, down into your arms, down into your fingertips, and exiting your body. And you're doing that through meditation. You're dealing with that through breathing. Okay, this is a breathing exercise, not just meditative. Now, the ironic part, Elliot, welcome to the channel. Let me know when you're ready, Elliot. And I'll continue. Not long, just about a month or two. It don't take long for me. So, anyways, anywhere from 5 to 10 seconds breathing exercises work. Focus your energy leaving you, and you're channeling in all that positive as the negative is being executed. Now think of this. Let's say, for an example, you've got out of balance due to over positivity. That would be anywhere from, say, 4 to 6 seconds breathing exercises. Through meditation, you can actually channel the energy to bring yourself back into balance. These are just a couple of things that you can work with. Meditation is very good. I recommend Tai Chi, Qigong, some kind of martial science. They all work. And you can literally do a lot. So the art of being well surrounds the way you speak, the way you react to things, and it always comes down to the way that you feel, the way that you think. Okay? And it always comes down to being in balance, either in balance or out of balance. Think of how should I say this? Think of a straight line. Okay? A straight line, like just, you can take a paper and just draw a straight line. Now do a wavy line over that. Okay? Now picture this. Anything along that line is a balance factor. Anything above it is a positive. Anything below it is a negative. Have you ever sat there and watched one of those heart readers from the medical community? I don't know if any of you have ever been in the hospital for, and hooked up to to one of those heart reader machines, like a defibrillator or whatever. But watching the blips on the monitor, you can see where that balance factor would be. The normal rating range of where your heart beats, and that where it's irregular, right? Well, picture this. Same model. Anything above that is out of balance. Anything below that is out of balance. So when you do your meditation, reflect on everything. Find your center, your calm. Become collective. Work on your breathing. Channel the energy for something constructive. Okay? From there, you can move into other areas. You can go into ritual if you wish, once you're fully immersed in your meditation. You can begin chanting. You can do evocation of a spirit to help guide you. You can work with any number of spirits, patrons, patronesses, gods, and goddesses. You can work with the Loa, the Orisha, the Jinn. Every single one of these has a positive and a negative atmosphere. Take the Jinn for an example. The Jinn are considered to be evil and vile, but yet most people don't realize that there is a lesson behind them. Every time a Jinn comes near you, either through possession or even to work with you, okay, you can learn a lesson from them. And this is why. Like the Devi, the Jinn have both a light aspect and a dark aspect to them, a positive and a negative. One will try to harm you, the other tries to guide you. But both of them have a lesson that you can trace right back to your life, to your very practices. And it is to guide you, to teach you to those lessons so that you can grow. This is something that is very, very good. Demons, on the other hand, they just sit there and teach you. They can guide you. They're known as protectors and guides. Angels are warriors. Hands down, they're warriors. Now, if you get into ancestral lineage, like, say, Santeria or Vudan, the Loa aren't intermediaries. Consider them like angels, if you will, between you and Bondi, okay, if you're into voodoo. Now, the ironic part is they can guide you to different realms and different planes of existence, especially when you start to learn projection, remote viewing, and astral projection, soul travel, okay? And a lot of this comes from a balanced mind, and you do have to be in balance to perform these rites. Because if you become out of balance, you're no more than a crazy person. Now, in Voodoo, look at, for an example, look at Papa Legba. Okay? Papa Legba is a Radi spirit. He's known as the Keeper of the Gates. And you have to kiss his ass to get to any other Loa. Okay? Now, you got to remember that there's also the same gatekeeper, Keflu, within the Petro spirits of Loa, which is a second class Loa family. And don't even get me started on the Gedi family of Loa. The reason I like working with the Petro is because of the fact that it literally will take you into different levels of the underworld. And if you work with the underworld, it's not just intense. It is not just intense. It's highly stimulated. And if you're not careful, it will destroy you. Just like your emotions, just like your mental stability. Okay? Working with any number of spirits, they can guide you and to teach you how to build up that balance and that intolerance. They can guide you to working safely and accurately within these systems. But you have to be the one to put the work in, and you have to be the one to learn. If you don't learn, you're staying in stagnation, and that's no different than death itself. Which names? The ones I've named off so far, like Seer, Bifron, Murmur, Seer, Papalegba, Keflu. Those are Haitian Voodoo and the Goetia spirits. It would be like working with the Orisha. I work a lot with Oya, the Lady of Death herself. She's the Orisha of death, graveyards. Look at Baron Samedi or Dambella, depending if you're working with the Creole New Orleans voodoo or that of Haitian voodoo. Okay? Different systems, just different, entities. Now, as I said at the beginning, I am a necromancer. I'm a practicing lick. That should tell you something. I work with many different spirits, and I try to get to know them. And in essence, sensing is a way to not only balance yourself and understand your own currents, but it also helps you with getting to know and identifying the various different spirits that you're going to work with throughout your career. That's if you want to make it a career. Okay? But you want to look at every system. You want to learn from various different deities. Look at their history. Look at their mythos. Trace them back as far back as you can. The further back you go, the more you're going to get away from the corruption. You're going to get closer to the truth. A lot of systems today are watered down and corrupted due to the overlapping of systems and lack of information due to the JCI literally forcing their way through the world, butchering the world. So you have to get to know the spirits on a personal level. Forget what you know. Get rid of the good and evil concept. Get rid of the heaven and hell concept. Go with the gray factor, because the gray is where it's at. That's where you'll find the balance. That's where you'll find out the truth. And that's where your journey will begin. When you give up those concepts and you start learning as a dedicated adept at any system that you choose. Heaven Starg. Hope I pronounced that last part right. If I didn't, I do apologize. So, Hinduism and Buddhism are similar practices. They're throughout the from South America to Asia to India. Basically, these practices are today have become both westernized and easternized practices. They're identified as practicing religions, not just martial arts and stuff like that that's associated with them. But yeah, there is a lot of things. Archie, Nickel, welcome to the channel. So, anyways, finding your balance through essence channeling is a good thing. And setting up boundaries is a good thing. Both of these will benefit you in the long run. Getting a strong routine going is also a good thing. I recommend an hour when you get up and an hour before you go to bed. Shut off all technology and don't use it. Pick up a book. Make time for reading, studying. Spend a lot of time away from technology and do things like, say, for an example, working out. Practicing doing powders, phylacteries, making relics, if you will. If you're not willing to do that, go out to the wilderness and just walk through nature. Have a family day out there. Do something other than being a couch potato on a laptop or computer screen, cell phone, whatever. I don't know how many phone calls from spam calls throughout the day. I can't tell you how many people hit me up throughout the day that are nothing more than a hindrance, a nuisance. They don't want to learn. They don't want to grow. They just want to dabble. They're not worth your time. They're like somebody that is a false friend pulling double duty to not only talk the talk next to you, to your face, but then turn around and stab you in the back talking smack about you to somebody else. You'll find yourself caught between brothers, sisters of the craft. Don't let them get to you. Stay neutral. Just do you. All right? So I hope this has been enlightening. I hope it's been educational. Whatever you preach, always back up, because you are responsible for the things you do and say. And always make yourself available to the public, because you are an intermediary. You are an ambassador between the spirits that you work with and the public. Many people will see you as an elder or somebody that is a spiritual advisor, a teacher, a guide. You are an ambassador. So therefore, you have to represent and be held accountable at a higher standard than the average Joe or Jane. You answer to the spirits. You answer to the public. All right? So the two creeds that I recommend that you follow is whatever you preach, always back it up, and always make yourself available to the public. But remember to set boundaries. There is a time that you do your stuff and a time when you don't. You got to set time for your family. You got to set time for work. You got to set time for your own studies and practices. Everything else has its own time as well. All right? With that said, have a nice day, and until next time.